You better stop! Bitch, stop!
Oh no. No. This is no bueno. Hello everyone. Welcome to this discussion, I guess, of the Sonic movie trailer. I was originally going to make this into a reaction video, but I don't really have a face cam to pull that off. Plus, I'm not really that good at conveying my raw thoughts and opinions live. I'd rather let them all sink in so I can write down whatever I have to say on the topic later. And well, oh boy, this is definitely giving me a couple things to say. So, let's not waste any time here and address the elephant in the room. Sonic just looks awful. Really. Like, really awful. Now, we've all been concerned and worried since we first caught a glimpse of his outline in the promotional poster from December. But now that we actually get to see the whole thing clearly, his face is just... oh my god. Ugh. But what's with all the collective shock? Surely a year ago when it was announced that the film would be live action, we had to have known this was going to happen, right? But here's the thing, we actually weren't exactly sure what to expect. Hell, I wasn't sure what to expect. A realistic Sonic design could be interpreted in several different ways depending on what you're going for. Live action adaptations have no absolutes or concrete rules to adhere to based on what the creators or the producers are trying to do. I mean, are we trying to reimagine how these characters or creatures will look and work biologically in our world, or are we simply trying to bring them to life? With the Sonic movie, this design seems to embrace the former. It's clear that the muscular build on his thighs and torso are meant to visually represent how athletic Sonic is. He does parkour and runs extremely fast all day after all, so I imagine that someone running at the speed of sound would develop impenetrable pieces of meat. But in their pursuit for accuracy, the visual appeal suffers greatly. It's off-putting to see human-like proportions and body parts on what is meant to be a cartoon. Which brings me to the biggest issue regarding Sonic's design, his face. You see, in some shots, it actually looks pretty decent, like in this poster of him running up a building, for example, as he smiles with a confident look on his freaking face, or this shot in the trailer as he's about to run off in a sonic boom, no pun intended. Whereas other shots like this one that's been going around on Twitter, it just looks, it looks horrifying. It's really just a testament as to how flawed and inconsistent the design is. It shouldn't just look good on certain angles, it should look good at all times. But why exactly is this the case? Well, a YouTuber by the name of TB Skyen, sorry if I butcher your name buddy, he made an interesting point in his video titled "Why Sonic the Hedgehog Looks Like a Nightmare? Character Design Explanation," in which he basically explained that they forced a human proportions into an anatomy that was clearly not made for them, creating this strange, uncanny effect. This infamous shot from the trailer demonstrates this. See, Sonic has a human jaw with realistic lips and human teeth, which don't belong into this animal skull of his. The head is meant to have a snout, yet they force a human mouth, this round mouth, into it. It just doesn't fit anatomically. However, this edit that I found by character artist Conestra, I believe that's her name, on Twitter, it fixes the problem by drawing a new animal mouth in a bit of a triangular rectangular shape that actually fits along the snout of his design. Now, you add in some animal fangs into the mix and, you know, voila! It looks way better, you know, it actually looks like an animal. It's such a small little change, but it goes such a long way in making Sonic's animal features feel more natural. This might even explain why he looks so good in several shots and in the posters, as I mentioned before. Like here, for example, his mouth is fully closed in these shots, bringing less attention to the human mouth and teeth that he's concealing. This highlights the flawed philosophy these designers took when redesigning Sonic, as they kind of missed the point on how you're supposed to anthropomorphize an animal. You do it by adding human traits in the way they behave and act, Liberties can be taken with the design here and there, with their anatomy, but you still need to retain some of the feral characteristics of an animal. Stapling what is essentially a realistic human mouth onto an animal, it just doesn't cut it. It's unsettling to look at. Like, it's kind of like those annoying orange videos with the eyes and the mouth plastered onto this realistic looking orange. That's the same effect that I get here. Again, credit goes to YouTuber TB Skyen on the explanation. I'll leave a link in the description to his video talking about the design, where he goes more in depth into this than I can, because I'm no character designer, I don't know much about this, but I definitely found his information very useful. As for the rest of the design, there's not much else I can actually say. It's too human and less animal, which shouldn't have been the goal here. As such, the body in some shots, especially in the distance, looks like a grown man wearing a skimpy fursuit. Based on the negative reaction this trailer has been getting, I highly doubt at this point that this was ever a good call. I've seen some fan art here and there, like this one from Tyson Hess on Twitter, where the design looks semi-decent, but again, that's only because their proportions take into account the animal characteristics of a hedgehog in mind, something that the official design just failed at doing, as I explained. I'm really going to be repeating myself all day on this when it's the most crucial aspect of it all. The sad part though, is that the concept designs are somehow better than the final one we got. Like, look at the way he looked in that film style guide that was leaked a couple months ago. It's not good either, but it's sure as hell easier on the eyes. I think it may have to do with the fact that it has like the side mouth of modern Sonic, as well as big cartoony irises that kind of makes him feel a little bit more, I don't know, kid friendly. I'm not sure if I'm explaining myself well. And you even have the little Sonic, the Sony design on that mock poster featuring Chris Pratt that came out a couple months as well. It looked better too. Honestly, if we were never going to get Sonic to look as he does in the games, then this one, the Chris Pratt one, that right there would have been a better compromise, in my opinion. You know, it's not perfect, but it's acceptable. Less human and more cuddly animal. Fuck it, I would like to have a plushie of that one. It just looks so good. So yeah, Sonic looks horrible. Well, what about the rest of the trailer? You know, what about the rest of the story? For starters, I'll never understand why they thought that using Gangsta Paradise by Coolio was a good idea. How? Ever since it was leaked that this would be the track for the trailer, we knew for a fact that it wouldn't fit, and of course it doesn't. You know, when I listen to a song about struggling African American and Latino teenagers in a racially segregated city, the first thing that pops into my mind is a blue cartoon hedgehog running across a highway at the speed of sound. What? Is it just me? Really? Okay. In all seriousness though, they should have just used a Michael Jackson song. Like Speed Demon or Smooth Criminal. Think about it for a second here. Michael was a huge influence in Sonic's design and personality. He composed tracks for Sonic 3, it would have been a song from the 90s, and it's widely known that Michael loved Sonic. It would have been a better choice in my opinion, other than Gangsta Paradise. Seriously, a Michael Jackson song in a Sonic trailer. That would have been freaking mind-blowing. I can already see it fitting so well. The story seems mediocre. Pretty much everything from the leaked Reddit AMA of someone who saw a private screening of the film was true. I'm not going to go into my thoughts and details thoroughly there, but I'll link an article that goes more in depth with the movie's story based on what was leaked. What I will say on a superficial level is that it looks dumb. It's cliche tropes of a supernatural protagonist entering a world through a portal, and then you have the government being involved, because of course these movies about furry CG animals always have to have the government somehow. Guys in suits talking around a big giant table, human characters that befriend the CG character that has to hide them from the public so nobody sees them. Woo! They even end the trailer with one of those dumb cliche scenes as James Marsden is hiding Sonic in a freaking duffel bag. Come on. Like, we've seen this stuff before. It's boring and it has nothing to do with Sonic. There's this shot going around from the trailer where James Marsden is sitting in a car with Sonic on the other passenger seat. It's the exact same shot from another CG furry animal live action movie featuring James Marsden as well. Freaking Hop, that Easter Bunny movie. Like, it's literally the same thing. They're following a formula. There's nothing inspiring here. I will admit that there are a couple of amusing moments here and there, like the scenes of Sonic running fast and spin dashing. Those will actually look pretty cool, and Robotnik's robots don't look half bad. I would have preferred actual Badniks from the games, but these tanks, they actually get the job done. The CG on them is pretty decent. The element the movie is lacking though is a unique identity. One of the biggest concerns I had when they announced that this was going to be shot in live action is that since the setting wouldn't take place in Sonic's world, the world they'd end up using would be just generic cities, rural areas, and my fears sadly became reality. They just pasted Sonic into a city background and it's just uninspired and freaking lazy. On the other hand, when you look at the set design of something like Detective Pikachu, there is a stark contrast here. The world in that movie feels as if it was made for Pokemon, a place where these creatures have lived with humans in harmony with their own functional infrastructure. The cinematography even appears to have a unique style, coloring the sets in bright neon lights in city areas, while natural areas are painted with subtle tones of gray. It gives it kind of a 90s noir aesthetic, similar to that of Ridley Scott's Blade Runner, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the detective storyline you're going for. You can tell that there's a unique voice at play behind the camera. With the Sonic movie, I don't get any of that. It's just a generic city background, generic highway area, generic military set. It's just... they're not even trying. I mean, just compare the posters of Detective Pikachu and some of the new Sonic ones, and you'll definitely see which one has the more creative and evocative world here. One good thing I will say about the movie though, is Jim Carrey as Robotnik. This man will definitely carry this film, I'm telling you now. He appears to be the most enjoyable part of this so far, as he goes back to his roots of his 90s slapstick humor, bringing in all that weird zaniness we love him for. Honestly, there's not anyone else better than I could have thought of for the role. It's just perfect. I don't even mind that he doesn't look like Robotnik throughout most of the thing. Again, it's Jim freaking Carrey. You can't go wrong with that. I heard that some people didn't actually find him that funny in the trailer, which is a shame, because if you don't like his style of humor, then well, I'm sorry, there's not much the movie is going to do to sway you over at that point. It's really the only good thing it has going for. Let me see, what else can I talk about? Rings, yeah. They seem to be used as teleporters now, which is okay, I suppose? I'm guessing they're like the warp rings from Sonic 1, 3, and Knuckles, where they would teleport you to a special zone to collect the Chaos Emeralds in the games. But they can use them to go anywhere here, like portals. I really don't mind. I guess they had to have something from the games relevant to play a part in the story somehow. Which is kind of pretty sad the more you think about it, because it kind of feels like an afterthought. One last thing though. I find it weird how Sonic is so fast now that he can pull off a Quicksilver and walk around while everything is frozen in time. It throws a wrench into the whole thing, creating an inconsistency here, because if he's that fast, then how the hell did he get hit by the tranquilizing dart earlier in the trailer? Doesn't make any sense. Is it one of those things where the writers just make him stop time wherever they find it convenient, or whenever they think it'll look cool? Or is there an actual reason he can do this, like a ring he has to collect or something? I don't know. I'm probably thinking more ahead than what the writers of this film did already. But yeah, those are some of my major thoughts on the Sonic trailer. Is it as bad as we thought it would be? Well, it depends on who you ask, really. Seeing how most of the somewhat positive responses I've seen only praise Jim Carrey and qualify the film as harmless or so bad that it's good, that's not really saying much at all. The bar was never set high for this project to begin with. Personally, if you ask me, I thought it was pretty bad. I'm not entirely convinced to watch it yet, as I'm on the fence. being lured in by morbid curiosity, and Jim Carrey himself. I probably need another trailer just to be sure, but I highly doubt that more footage of this film will change my mind. Anyways, thanks for watching. Tell me what you thought about the trailer. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Or did you have to cleanse your eyes in bleach and holy water after the fact? Or maybe you'll stand by your Senpai Sonic through thick and thin. Post your comments and let's get the discussion going. As always, see you next video.